Great. So it's actually gone live on my iPad, but it's not going through on the computer. So whatever. All right. Good evening, folks. I hope all of you guys have your glass of water. I hope you guys have a notepad to take some notes because I want to really dive into, getting started with your websites, with WordPress, integrating e-commerce, during this time where everybody, again, is locked up inside. Everybody who has had to, who's had a brick and mortar business, people are taking hits. People are taking hits left, right, and center. I think this week is like the most where I've been messaged about, hey, you build websites? Do you know somebody that builds websites? People are really starting to think about, building their online business and integrating e-commerce so that they're not just reliant on that brick and mortar or, meeting people in line. Meeting people offline, all right? So people are pouring in on the Facebook Live now. So Facebook, what's going on? We were having some technical difficulties before, so glad you guys could join us. So if you guys see me switching back and forth, it's because I had everything set up a particular way, but that ain't working out. So I'm going to be switching back between my iPad and my phone for the IG Live and the Facebook Live. So people on Facebook, what's going on? Don't forget, again, this is my very first time. As much as you guys might have seen me doing in-person workshops, I've never done a Facebook Live. I just haven't done it. So lots of hearts. Lots of likes. You guys know I appreciate every one of you. So, the support is always great. If you guys can, make sure you guys share the live stream, especially if you're on Facebook, because I think right now, I don't know anybody who should not be thinking about building an online business or within their existing business. They need to start thinking about building those digital assets, getting those components in their business so that they can start, taking their business online, making money online, and all that good stuff, So notepad, notes, Facebook live stream is going. People are jumping in. My Instagram family's been here for a little while, keeping me company. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So this webinar, this live stream is all about getting started with WordPress, your website, and e-commerce. And then at the end of it, whatever questions you guys have, whether it's questions that would have stemmed from the live or questions that you guys would have had just in general that you guys, probably couldn't get an answer to, pose it to me, throw it out to me. I'm going to see how best I can answer it, all right? So the first thing I want to get into is, why on earth do you need a website? Why do you need a website? Think about it from a business perspective, right? The core reason we are in business is to solve a problem. Can we all agree on that? If we can all agree on that, Instagram family, Facebook family, you guys just give me some hearts right now. The core reason we get into business is to solve a problem. When we have a problem, you want to learn something, what's the first thing that you guys do? I know for me, the first thing that I do is if I have any problem, I want to learn how to make macaroni pie, I jump on Google, I type in, how do I make a macaroni pie? If I don't know who is the Prime Minister of Africa or Trinidad and Tobago, I jump on Google and I ask the question, right? Now, as a business, we have to have an online home, a resource center where people that are within our niche can come and find the answers to questions that are relevant to them. So having our website allows you to be found on Google. People can ask questions on Google, and if you have created content that answers those questions, people are going to be able to find your website. Your business is going to be one that is looked at as a thought leader if you are constantly answering the questions of your people, right? So having a website allows you to answer questions for your people. It also allows you, if you have products or if you have services, to list your products and services. And then also, if you're going to be integrating e-commerce, you're going to be able to take payments for your products and services online, right? So again, your website is going to be your digital hub. Especially in the Caribbean, we don't have a lot of the features that the markets like the US, Canada, and the US, Canada, Australia, and the UK have. So for example, if you are listening to a lot of the experts about, building on Instagram and you can sell on Instagram, one of the key features for e-commerce on Instagram is the product tags. But in the Caribbean, we don't have access to that. That's actually a restricted feature. So if you're putting your products out there and you are one of those businesses who is creating this long list in your caption of all the prices and products, most people aren't reading that. They're still going to DM you, right? So that is why being able to just click on the product tag and the price pops up, and if somebody likes it, they can click again and it brings them to their website, is one of the key features for e-commerce on Instagram. But that's a feature that here in the Caribbean we do not have, right? So, and even telling people, hit the link in the bio. Again, it's because it's not in your face. It's not the most visited. It's not the most visited part on Instagram for most businesses, all right? So you want to be able to have your website where you can do your commerce, post your products, post your services, take payments on your website. Now, in terms of getting started with WordPress, I know a lot of people when they're thinking about building their website, one of the key questions people ask is, well, what platform should I use? Should I use WordPress? Should I use Squarespace? Should I use Wix? Should I use Joomla, Drupal? There's hundreds of different platforms. Webflow. There's a lot of different platforms, and every platform has their pros and their cons. Now, for me, when I started to build my website, I had learned WordPress, so I pretty much just kind of stuck to that and just learned WordPress. What also works is that WordPress is the most popular platform in the world. So WordPress, fun fact, WordPress powers over 35% of the entire internet. WordPress powers over 35% of the entire internet. So most people that have websites are using WordPress. So as you guys already know, the more people that are using a particular platform, more developers are going to be optimizing, creating tools more specific to WordPress and whatnot, right? So I think one of the big myths about WordPress is how hard it is to actually use and set up. Anytime I hear people talking about WordPress, the first thing is, it's too hard. I prefer to use Wix because Wix is easier to use. I prefer to use Squarespace because it's easier to use. And I think the people that are the ones saying it's too hard have never really learned how to actually use WordPress. So in order to get started with WordPress, there's a couple things you need. First and foremost, you need to purchase your domain name. So if you're in the live, if you have your domain name right now, give me some hearts. Let me know if you guys already have your domain name, because that's step one, and that's a big step that a lot of people don't even take. So likes, hearts, if you have your domain name, give me some likes, give me some hearts. Let me know that you guys have your domain name, and even drop it, because I'd love to check out some of your websites if you guys already do have them, right? So step one is your domain name. Where do you guys go and get your domain name? There's a few places. This is where, you hear about GoDaddy, you hear about Ionos.com, you hear about HostGator. You can purchase your domain name through any one of those hosting companies, right? Now, in the Caribbean, everybody runs and jumps on GoDaddy the minute they have to sign up for hosting. GoDaddy used to be good. They used to be good. But now what we have is we have more hosting companies that are better optimized for WordPress specific websites. So if you are building your website on WordPress, GoDaddy is not the platform that you should probably be using. What I always do is Google who are the best WordPress hosting companies. You will never really see GoDaddy in the top 5, but you are going to get a good list of what hosting companies specialize in WordPress. All right. So for the most part, I've used Ionos in the past, and I currently use a local provider called overmill.com, and I've used them for my hosting. So when you purchase your domain name, the cost really depends. It's not costly. It's a yearly fee to renew your domain name, and it all depends on the suffix that you're using. So most people will use a .com website. Now there are more like .co, .org, .shop, .mobile, .guru. A variety of them have different meanings, or they have different meanings for different industries. So depending on what industry you are using, if you are somebody who's building an online store or brick and mortar, you could get away with a .shop. .co, if you cannot get the .com for your website, .co is usually a very good option, but depending on what suffix you're using, that's really where the cost differs from the other one. So .co is more expensive than .com. .org is really expensive. .org and like .net, .guru, some of those other newer ones that have just come out are typically like around $40 US every single year to renew. But if you get your .com is like $7 a year to purchase and renew for a year. All right. So it really all depends on what the suffix is, will determine the cost of your domain name. If you want to check out where to get your domain name, you can go on Ionos.com. Ionos is spelled IONOS. You can go on HostGator. You can go on Overmill.com. You can even use GoDaddy to see if your domain name has been taken, or if it is free and it's ready for you to purchase. So first step is getting your domain name. The second part is getting your hosting. Now your hosting is what you pay for monthly. That is pretty much going to be holding your website, all your server files, all that good stuff. And that is something that you pay for monthly. So your domain name is yearly. Your hosting is what you pay for monthly. Now I want to stress on that because a lot of people, when they're thinking of websites, they think that it's really expensive, but myths again, right? Your domain name yearly, your hosting is what you pay for monthly. Every hosting company offers different services with different costs. So currently, like I said before, I use overmill.com. I pay $5 US a month for hosting my website. $5 US a month for hosting your website. Now, that $5 US is if you're doing one website, and I believe it's like $7 US or $8 US if you're hosting, I think like up to 5. Again, check out the different WordPress hosting companies. All of them have different packages, and they will vary depending on if you're using it to host one website, if you're using it to host 10, or if you're using it to host an unlimited amount of websites, right? And even on the unlimited side, like if I pull up ionos.com, if I'm going too fast, feel free to let me know to slow down. I'm just checking out the cost for the WordPress on Ionos. Hosting WordPress. All right, so if you want unlimited websites with ionos.com, that's $15 a month. So if you're somebody who has multiple websites, again, $15 a month. So hosting is not expensive. It all varies on which company that you're using. And also, if you are using WordPress, most companies will have specific packages for WordPress hosted websites. So it's imperative that, again, if you're using WordPress to build your website, just make sure that you are using a hosting company that specializes in WordPress, all right? And then check out their WordPress packages. So you guys can drop your questions. Like coming on to the Q&A session, I'm going to go back and answer them. And if I see them as they're coming up, I'll try to answer them as well. All right. But don't forget, guys, give me some waves, give me some hearts, give me some energy. You know, again, this is the first time. You know, this is the first time. So, after you've got your domain name and after you've gotten your hosting package, now, one of the reasons why you want to go with hosting companies that specialize in WordPress is because they allow for one-click installation with WordPress. So I'll have to kind of break down WordPress. There's two WordPress, and this is where there's confusion with WordPress as well. There's WordPress.com, which is the online blogging platform. All right, it's usually a free solution, but I see now they're charging you for at least your domain name. It's limited. You have to operate within their confines for WordPress.com. But then, if you're using WordPress.org, what WordPress.org is, WordPress.org is the actual WordPress software. And that software is what these hosting companies use to install on their platform. So WordPress.com is the online blogging community, which is different from WordPress.org, which is the actual WordPress software that we would use to build our websites. So when you sign up with Ionos, HostGator, Overmill, you will see that they'll ask you which platform are you using. Like after you've purchased your domain and your hosting, they'll ask you what are you going to be installing. You'll click on WordPress and it will install the WordPress software. All right? It will install the WordPress software. Now, this is where people think WordPress is hard. And they think that WordPress is for coders. What you can do, and what web developers have done, rather than web developers building out custom websites for everybody, web developers have now decided, you know what, this digital age, we can now build themes. And a theme is a fully complete, comprehensive website that you can purchase. And the only thing you need to do is, when you purchase that theme, is to customize it. It is a fully functioning website. You do not have to code. The only thing you need to do is change the content, change the colors, put your own spin to it, and you're off to the races. But you are not coding anything. I cannot code. Okay? I build websites. I build websites. I can build websites. I don't necessarily do it for people, but I can build websites, right? But I cannot code. Not for nothing can I code. So if any of you think that building a website, requires coding, it does not require coding, right? What we would do is we would purchase these themes, purchase a theme that we like, and then we would customize it. So the thing with themes is every web developer creates a theme that is very specific to niches. So the marketplace that I purchase my themes from, and if you guys are taking notes, take this note. The marketplace I use is called themeforest.net. THEME forest.net. ThemeForest will bring you to an online marketplace where developers go and sell themes. And again, a theme is a fully comprehensive website that you can purchase, install on your WordPress, in your WordPress software, and then customize it for your very own business needs or your personal needs, right? When you jump on ThemeForest, you are going to type in what your business is about. So, for example, if my business is tech or business consulting, I would type in business or business consulting. And that's going to give me a long list of hundreds of themes that are specific to my needs. All right? It's going to be specific to your needs. Now, I'm just going to pull up so I don't want to miss a step in this process. When you pull up ThemeForest, and you type in niche that you're looking at, right? What you will then do is you'll go through the list. Click on a theme that looks good, and then you're going to click on Live Preview. When you click on Live Preview, what that does is it's going to open up the demo version of that website. So all of the elements are going to be there working. You can click on all the pages. You can see how the entire website works and functions, right? When you click on Live Preview, it is going to show you exactly how the website looks, functions, feels. And then what web developers do is they usually, within a theme, there's usually like different layouts. So you might get a theme that has like 5 different layouts. And then you can kind of pick which layout you want for your business. So you purchase this one theme, and that theme will have multiple versions in it. All right? When you decide on which version you want, the entire look and feel and how the website operates changes to match what that layout does. So when we purchase a theme now, we would then go back into our WordPress account. So remember, we would have set up our hosting, we would have installed the WordPress, they'll give us a control panel. We would then take that theme that we purchased and we would install it. It's a one-click installation. Install it, and then you have a fully comprehensive website. All right? You have a fully website. Once you install that theme onto your WordPress software, you have a fully functioning website. Now, WordPress takes it a step further. Right? Like I said, I can't code. I'm not a web developer, I can't code, so I got to use this. What I then do is every theme will come with a nifty little feature called one-click demo import. One-click demo import. What that does is it allows you to import all of the contents of that layout that you see in the demo. You will get all of that installed onto your platform, onto your domain. One-click demo will install all of the contents from the demo version that you would have seen when you were scrolling through ThemeForce and install it onto your platform. So now the only thing you need to do is customize the content. You're going to take out the words that they've used. You're going to change the colors to your brand colors, put in your logos. You're going to take out all the pictures. You're going to put in your own pictures. But the entire website has already been built for you. And the only thing you need to do now is simply customize the information and content in that theme. And that is how you get started with WordPress without a single bit of coding. So you would have gotten your domain name, you would have gotten your hosting, you would have gotten that theme, you would have installed the theme, imported the demo content, and you have a fully functioning website. The only thing you now need to do is put your own pictures in, put your own content in. And that is the easiest way to get started with WordPress. So if you guys have been keeping count, right? Let's take a look at the tally in terms of costs to get started with a website. Because everybody, when they think of website, one of the key reasons why most people in the Caribbean don't have websites is because the costs that web developers are charging you to build websites. Now keep in mind, you don't know how that web developer is building your website. You don't know what platform they're using. So if they're building a website from scratch for you, and that developer says, if you're in Trinidad and they tell you, $10,000 or $7,000 for a 2-page website or whatever, again, if they're building it from scratch and they're coding everything, then I understand. It's a lot of work. And even doing it with WordPress and the theme is still a lot of work to customize. It's not hard. It's just time. It's a lot of time to put in to make it work, right? So depending on how they're building your website will dictate the type of cost you're going to pay. Now, I know many of you have gone to web developers and said, hey, I'm looking to build an e-commerce website. And the minute you say e-commerce, it's like, oh, yeah, I quoted you $7,000. You want e-commerce? Well, it's going up to $20,000 now. And they'll always tell you that the reason why it costs so much is because the integration for e-commerce costs a lot of money. All right? I'm sure you guys have heard that. If you guys have heard that, give me hearts, give me likes, let me know in the comments. Let me know if these are things, if you've gone through this type of experience before. The minute you tell a web developer e-commerce, the cost doubles and triples, right? So when you have your WordPress website and everything up and running, if you are somebody who is looking to have e-commerce integrated for Trinidad and for the Caribbean, we are limited in terms of payment processors. And those are the companies that process the payments for us when people are putting in their credit card information. We are limited to PayPal, First Atlantic Commerce, and WePay. FAC can get pretty expensive, and it's a bit of a process to get a merchant account, because with FAC, if you're looking to use FAC, you first have to get a merchant account with your bank, or with any corresponding bank that offers merchant accounts. The reason why the process is so lengthy, especially here in Trinidad, is when you walk into any one of the banks and you ask the people, hey, I'm here to get a merchant ID, the first thing the bankers tell you is, what? What's a merchant ID? And you're like, it's what we need to set up a online payment processing account with First Atlantic. And a lot of them don't know what a merchant ID account is, and that just drags this entire process on a lot longer than it needs to be. All right? So FAC, First Atlantic Commerce. Now, every bank has different requirements for setting up a merchant ID account. The last time I checked, I think like Scotiabank wanted you to have like $2,600 US to open up a merchant ID account, and then they want you to have your business, your financials. You have to make a certain amount of money to open up that merchant account as well. So again, every bank is going to have different requirements to opening up a merchant ID account. Now, this is what you would have to do if you want to set up your payment processor to be with First Atlantic Commerce. Now, that's usually why the majority of the people that use FAC are enterprise companies and corporate companies, larger companies like a Courts, the banks, right? A lot of the bigger companies use FAC. A lot of the small-time entrepreneurs or the medium business entrepreneurs are not using FAC, just because, again, the process and what is required we might not have right off the bat. So what does that leave us with? That leaves us with PayPal and WePay. Now, depending on what you want to do will dictate whether you should be using WePay and PayPal. There is no right or wrong answer. There is no one is better than the other. They both have pros and cons. Everybody has to understand what they are using their website for in order to figure out what's going to work best for them. PayPal or WePay. So both PayPal and WePay are free. It costs you nothing to set up a PayPal account. It costs you nothing to set up a WePay account. All right, so they're both free to sign up. Where the sign up differentiates, though, is PayPal, you could sign up with just an email. And if you want to use the WePay plugin to process payments on your website, you will then have to have your business registered. All right? Your business has to be registered. WePay will want, for their KYC purposes, to keep central bank happy, they will need your business registration, a couple of documents. in order to get access to their payment plugin to process the payments on your website. So PayPal, you just need your email address. WePay, they have a registration process, 2 forms of ID, your business registration. Once you submit that, they'll create the account, you'll have access to their plugin, all right? Both are free to sign up. Now, PayPal processes your payments, or all of their fees are in US. So keep that in mind. Anytime you use PayPal as your payment processor, if you are in the Caribbean, it is being charged in US. All your fees are in US and their fees are higher than WePay. However, if you are using WePay, all of your fees are in TT dollars. So it is cheaper to use WePay as your payment processor if you are using WePay to process your payments on WordPress. Another thing to note is that WePay does not integrate with a lot of the tools that we use. Let's just say you're using a scheduling tool like Eventbrite or Acuity Scheduler, or if you're using things like Eventbrite, WePay does not integrate with those types of tools. PayPal integrates with everything. So again, as I'm saying, you have to know, what are you going to be doing on your website? What types of functionality is going to be put on your website? And that will dictate what payment process you use. So if you guys have ever come to any one of my in-person workshops, if it was a paid one and I used Eventbrite, I had to use PayPal to process that payment because WePay does not integrate with that. On my Droid Island website, because I have all the products listed there, and because I'm using WordPress, I can use the WePay plugin for WordPress to process those payments on my website, and it's much cheaper to do that. I could use PayPal, but then the fees are higher, and I just lose more money as a business owner, especially in Trinidad. So I use WePay because the fees are cheaper and they're in TT dollars. Now, somebody said local banks restrict PayPal for Trinidad. Yes and no. PayPal, if you want to use it, if you want to use PayPal, PayPal only deposits the funds, right? Again, if you're taking notes, take down this note. PayPal only deposits funds to a JMMB bank account. If you open up a personal, not a business, if you open up a personal JMMB bank account, they are going to give you a JMMB Visa debit card. Once you have that Visa debit card, you would then register that card onto your PayPal account, and then you can deposit the funds to your JMMB account. If you have a Visa credit card, you can deposit PayPal funds to a Visa credit card. But if you're doing that, remember, when you're trying to take that money out, you're going to get hit with the cash advance fees. All right? So I'm getting a couple of questions. Aldrin, so WePay CEOs in the building, what's going on? Stefan Duncan, who is the owner of Overmill and a badass WordPress developer, is in. Johan Rodriguez, what's going on? I know Aldrin is going to be answering some of that WePay questions if he sees it. Another payment processor that doesn't get talked about enough is BuzzPay. But the thing is that we haven't really seen much activity from BuzzPay. But BuzzPay does process payments. But again, I haven't really seen much activity from them. So if you want to use it, go ahead and check it out. But I haven't used it particularly, so I can't really speak on it too much. But I can talk to you about PayPal and WePay, because those are the things that I'm using in my business every day. All right. All right. So again, if you're using PayPal, the PayPal deposits to JMMB or a Visa-enabled credit card. If you have a MasterCard, PayPal does not deposit to any MasterCard. WePay deposits to all banks in Trinidad. So whether it's personal, business, WePay deposits to all banks in Trinidad. All right? Their turnaround time is 2 to 5 business days. So once the money gets deposited into your WePay wallet, when you go in there to withdraw the money, There is a $5 TT fee to withdraw that money to deposit to your bank account, and that time period is 2 to 5 business days. With PayPal, if you're using PayPal is the same thing, but that $5 fee is now in US, all right? And same thing, their turnaround time is typically 1 to 4 business days. I have seen some people talk about it's taken 30 days, but I don't know what's going on with their accounts, but the majority of the people that I know, for me, and the majority of the people that I talk to, it's everybody has gotten within 1 to 5 business days, right? And again, that's in Trinidad. So that typically covers, our e-commerce integration. And again, it is free. If you're using WordPress, adding PayPal as your processor is free. Adding WePay to process your payments on your WordPress platform is free. So when web developers tell you, hey, your price is doubled because you want e-commerce, you have to question why. Because to install to install PayPal or WePay is free. Now, where I could see the price raising, right? If I'm building a website, where I can see the price raising is, let's just say you're a product-based business. And I'm going to use Droid Island, for example. When I was building Droid Island, I had about 100 products to add to my shopping cart on my website. It took me a while. It took me some time to add in all of the details and the information for every product, and it was over 100. So the web developers need to get clear on what they're charging you for with respect to integrating your e-commerce solution. PayPal and WePay is free to integrate, and it's a plugin. If you're on WordPress and you're using WooCommerce by default is set to PayPal. The only thing you need to do is put in your PayPal ID, and that's it. Your PayPal email and your PayPal merchant ID, which is free. You get that right in the settings. With WePay, you register. It is free. They give you the plugin that you then install, and it works with WooCommerce. That's free. So if a developer is saying, okay, this is the cost, and the cost is $20,000 or whatever for e-commerce, where I can see them charging you money is the time to, if you have a lot of products, they might be charging you based on the time it's going to take to add all of those products. But the problem is that most web developers are not saying that. Most web developers, word for word, are telling people that it simply costs $10,000 to integrate PayPal or WePay. And that's the problem that I have, because both of those solutions are free. All right? So let's tally up the costs in terms of getting started with this website. So if you purchase your domain name might run you 10 US. If you get a .com, if you want to be fancy and they're telling you it's going to be 20, 30, 40 US a month, for a year for the domain name, cool. But typically a .com is cheap. They'll probably charge like $7 for the domain name, and that's for the year. So we're at $7, right? Then hosting. If you're hosting with overmill.com, it starts at $5 US a month. It starts at $5 US a month. And then if you're somebody who wants to host unlimited sites, then most companies are charging you about $15 a month to host unlimited sites. All right? Then comes the purchase of your theme. So when you go on themeforest.net, you search for what type of business you're into, you figure out what theme you want, you make that purchase. Themes could range from anywhere from 10 US all the way up to 80 US. It really all depends on the complexity of that website that developer has built. Droid Island, I got on a Black Friday sale, so I paid like 60 US for the theme. My KarenRose.com website, I paid $16. $16 for the theme. Karen Rose, I paid $16 for that theme. Droid Island, I paid $60 US. All right? And Droid Island came built with all the pages. It came already built with the shopping cart, everything. I just need to customize the information, the colors, put my products in. Then I hollered at WePay. I said, Aldwin, I need to register with your company. I sent in my documents. Same day, within an hour, my account was created. I was given the plugin. I installed the plugin on my WordPress platform. And that was it. Put in my WePay ID, my WePay username, and my WePay ID, and WePay was set up to process payments for my e-commerce website. So when I hear developers telling people $20,000 for an e-commerce website, my question is always how? If they're building it from scratch, if they're inputting all of your products in, then you might run into problems. But if you're doing this through WordPress, your cost should not be reaching anywhere near that. All right. So now with coronavirus happening and everybody taking a hit in their business, you have to be online. Your products have to be online. Your services have to be online. And if you have set up your products and services online in your payment processor, then people can pay you online. All right. Now, the credit card penetration rate is low in Trinidad. But again, not everybody here is viewing from Trinidad. I'm seeing some of my Toronto family online. I'm seeing some of my family from the other Caribbean islands online as well. All right. Credit card penetration rate is low. So you have to have a multitude of payment options for your people. But what I do is I have a payment page and I list out all the options of how people can pay me on my website. So if you want to pay with credit card, go ahead. Add the products to your cart, go ahead and order, and I'll just get an email that you place the order. If you want to do an online bank transfer, I put that information there so you could just, you have the information right there and you can make the online transfer, right? The other option that you can use is Paywise, and Paywise is like an offline agent that accepts cash. But keep in mind, people have to leave their house now and go into that agent and make those cash payments. And again, we're in quarantine, so not everybody's trying to leave their house to go and pay you. So make sure you have all those options laid out for people that they can pay you online. Whether it's an online bank transfer, whether it is, through credit card, make sure you guys have those options set up so that people can pay you online. And push comes to shove, you also have Paywise, and people can go to any one of the Paywise agents all across the country. Rather than standing up in a line in the bank to go ahead to a teller, they can go to any Paywise agent and make that payment. Or you guys can go to any, if you have a WePay account, WePay also has their WePay terminals out in the field, and they list all of their agents all across Trinidad. And then somebody can go in there with cash and purchase a WePay voucher. And they can either use that voucher to pay on your website, because WePay does have the option where it can accept the voucher as payment. Or that person can message you the WePay voucher, and then you could just top up your account by yourself and organize delivering the products to your person, to your clientele. So I know that was a lot of information with respects to getting started with your website, your domain, hosting, how to get started with WordPress, PayPal, WePay, how that integrates, some of the costs should be associated. Now I want to get into your questions. So questions have been coming in. I'm now looking at both feeds from Instagram and Facebook. If you guys have questions, drop those questions in. I'm going to get into my Q&A time. Let me just take a sip of water because I'm extremely parched. All right. So Miss Prestige, if your business is both regionally and internationally, both platforms is necessary? Great question. Everybody asks, or everybody assumes, WePay is only for Trinidad. WePay is international. All right. You can send a WePay invoice to anybody in the world. Anybody in the world can come on your website and shop, and WePay will process a transaction. Doesn't matter where they are. Now, where you're coming from is, do people know about WePay and trust WePay? Now, WePay is doing an amazing job in terms of building their credibility because they have partnerships with MasterCard. They're the first to do it, right? And they're doing what they have to do. You, as a business owner, you have to build your credibility. So I have never been questioned as to, hey, is WePay safe? Is it safe for me to use my credit card on your website with WePay? I've never heard of it. People trust me as the brand. So people pay. If I'm using a particular service for payment, people pay, right? Now, if you're in a situation where people are questioning, what is WePay? They might not be comfortable using it. At that point, you could send them a PayPal invoice. But keep in mind, right? Your fees as a business owner, your goal is to make money. Your PayPal fees are all in US. The fees are higher than WePay. WePay fees are in your local currency and they're a lot cheaper than PayPal. So I will always invoice people from WePay because I want more money. I don't want to lose out the extra money, right? But using PayPal, and I do use PayPal, I use PayPal for Acuity because that's, if you guys have booked a session with me, I use that to process the payments. I use PayPal for Eventbrite, for my events. When you guys purchase your tickets for my events, PayPal processes those payments for me. All right? I'm just scrolling through. Miss Greta, you've been having trouble with PayPal in recent months. So what I would say is you have to figure out what those problems are. Because you might need an account specialist from PayPal to look into it. What happens is, and I'm glad you kind of brought that point up. What happens is a lot of people that have problems with PayPal in Trinidad, what you have to do is you need to call PayPal and activate something called automatic payments. That's usually disabled for Trinidad. Once that's disabled, you cannot directly send money to somebody and you cannot receive somebody. So even if you're sending people your PayPal link, if you do not have automatic payments set up and you are in Trinidad, PayPal blocks the transaction. So you will not be able to receive that money you're sending without that turned on. So call in, have them turn on automatic payments, and that will rectify the issue of being able to directly send money to people and also to receive the money. People paying you and you receiving that money. So that's been an issue that has been coming up a lot with respects to PayPal. Turtle love waist beads. When you say what about mobile sites, be a bit more specific. What exactly about mobile sites? Are you asking how do you build mobile sites? If that's the question, when you purchase your WordPress theme, every theme you want to look and make sure that the developer has specified that it is mobile responsive. So there's 3 different views when we're building websites. There's the desktop view, there's the tablet view, and then there's mobile view. And what mobile responsive means is that it'll conform to the dimensions of what that person is viewing your website from. So if a developer has built a mobile responsive theme, then it doesn't matter if I'm watching the website from a tablet, a smartphone, or a desktop, it will conform to whatever the devices that you're using. So if you're using WordPress and you're purchasing a theme off of ThemeForce, the majority of web developers at this point, it's standard. Everybody makes their websites mobile responsive, and they will always tell you in the technical information that it will be mobile responsive. All right, so let me look at what's going on in Facebook. Again, keep dropping your questions in. Jamal, what's going on? What's your thoughts on a mobile app versus a website, given that persons use their phones more than a PC? Understand most websites are mobile optimized, but the experience is vastly different. To be honest, I really just think it all depends on what your goals are for what your business is. Most people don't need an app. Most people are perfectly fine with just a mobile responsive website. I think if you have very specific needs, then that's where you'll have to determine if that's better, if building an app for your business is going to create a better experience. But that really is going to depend on your business and what your needs are. But I believe that most people are going to be perfectly fine with simply having a mobile optimized website. But again, if your needs are very specific, and chances are, if you're thinking app, you probably already know why you are thinking app, and that might be the better bet for you. But again, most people don't need it. But if you have a business where you think that the app is going to be able to create a different experience, maybe it's another revenue generation tool for you. Or again, you could just offer a different experience on your app. Hey, go ahead and jump into it. I'm scrolling through, so just if you guys have questions, just drop those questions in. Meeks Ricci, not sure if I missed it, but how is WooCommerce added to the WordPress website, and what's the cost to add it? Good question. WooCommerce is free. WooCommerce is a free shop plugin for WordPress. It is free. Now, when you purchase a theme, any theme that has a cart in it, 9 out of 10 times is using WooCommerce. So it's already installed. Within that theme. And the only thing you need to do is, within WooCommerce, is pick what payment processor that you're going to be using. If you're going to be using WePay, download the plugin for WePay, install it, and it will show up inside of WooCommerce. Or you will turn on PayPal and set it up. Put in your PayPal ID and your security code. Or there's two things for PayPal that you have to put in, and same thing for WePay. But WooCommerce is 100% free. It's a free plugin, and again, if you're using WordPress, most themes are going to have that built in. All right, I'm scrolling through. Lionel Amers, do you customize your template with PHP? No, sir, I do not. So when I'm customizing a WordPress theme, every theme is built with a page builder. All right. Some page builders are a lot easier to use than others. So if you've ever seen any of my lives on Instagram when I'm doing behind the scenes, when I'm working with people, I typically use WP Bakery and Elementor. So whatever the page builder is built with your theme, that is what I would use to customize the actual theme. Some theme builders are a lot easier than other. If your theme is built with the Elementor page builder, geez, it is a breeze to customize. Nobody with any sort of experience, you don't need no experience, no technical experience to customize your website. Getting your website, and one thing I want to stress to everybody is getting your website, building it yourself is now easier than it's ever been before. It's easy to build a website. If you're doing it with WordPress and you're purchasing a theme and you're customizing, it is extremely easy to build that website. However, getting the website is step one. Somebody can give you a brand new car, and if you don't know how to drive, that's a problem. All right? My Instagram family, we have 20 seconds left. So what I'll do is I'm going to end this real quick, and then I'm just going to turn it back on because I only have a couple more minutes. I'm going to take a couple more questions, and then we're going to go live again at another date in this week, all right? Which is a better website with my name and business? All right, I'm going to restart this. Facebook family, bear with me for 1 second. I am simply just going to restart the live for Instagram folks. All right, perfect. So we're back online with Instagram. Johan, WordPress gives you all the plugins and widgets depending on the theme you purchase. You can purchase more than one theme. Corporate themes have more functionality. Man, you know what, Johan? Even if it's not corporate, there's tons of themes that give you tons of functionality. It just really all depends on the developer. The developers are building some really amazing websites, regardless of if it's corporate, if it's retail. It just really all depends on the actual theme itself. Hi, Miss Mohammed. All right, so I'm going to take a couple more questions. All right, I'm gonna let you guys drop those questions in. The next live I'm gonna do is most likely going to be on Tuesday or Wednesday. I still haven't decided this yet, but I would put all that information out there. I'll send it to the email list. I'll put it on social media as well. But the next live stream I'm going to be doing this week is going to be about digital products. What digital products are, a little bit about getting started with digital products, and what sorts of products you can add to your business. One of the reasons I love digital products is digital products are the most scalable asset right now. Think about it. If you're selling physical products, you know, your logistics, you have to get your logistics to be on point, right? When you're selling digital products, once you have a website or once you have a platform that's online and people can purchase the product, you can scale. Anybody around the world can purchase it. You get the money right away, and that person gets the product right away. Everybody should be building and thinking digital products. So my next live stream is going to be on getting started with digital products. I'm going to go into the variety of digital products that you guys can start building, why you guys should have digital products. And again, if you guys have questions with respect to digital products, I'll be taking those questions as well. All right. Is there any last questions on getting started with WordPress and also getting started with e-commerce? Makita, hey, which should I use for my website, my name or my business name? That all depends on you and your brand. Droid Island is Droid Island. Karen Rose is my personal brand. I use both. What I typically do is when I use my name, my personal brand, your personal brand should always be set up to be the parent company to any of your businesses. And the reason why you want to do that is because, let's just say you spend this time hiding behind a logo and hiding behind a link. Like imagine if I never showed my face on Droid Island, right? And Droid Island turned into this big company, but you guys never knew who I was. Would you guys trust me when I decided to start teaching people about online business? You guys would have been like, who is this guy and where did he come from? We've never heard of him. But because I was showing my face throughout the years with Droid Island and all the companies I worked with, when I started to teach people about online business, it made sense. So if you want to use your personal name, if your business is your personal name, use your personal name. If your business is something unrelated to what you might personally want to do, then you could build your business. You could build it with your business name, build a website with your business name. But I would always encourage you to put out your personal name. Build a brand off your personal name. Have a website. Blog about what you're going through. Blog about building your business. That way people can see you. And that way when you decide to jump into new ventures, people already know who you are. So if I decide tomorrow, you see Mr. Rose Kennels and I'm breeding dogs, you'd have been like, damn, this guy really always talked about his love for dogs. And that makes sense. We're going to support him because we like him. We support what Karen Rose does. So when the dog, and I might do that. I love dogs. I love Rottweilers. If you love dogs, well, you guys already know that about me. But yeah, no, definitely always think about using your name as your personal brand. Your personal brand should always be your parent company to any business you have down the line, because life changes. You're going to start other businesses. You might change the business name, whatever. You don't want to be starting from scratch, and only building a business name and hiding behind it pigeonholes you into that niche. Your personal brand, your name, sets you free, because it allows you to do anything you want, talk about anything you want, if it is that your business is separate from your personal name. Miss Prestige saying thank you on behalf of everyone. Great content. Thank you very much. And honestly, man, again, for my very first live, I mean, we had some technical difficulties in the beginning, but again, it happens. We got past it. I want to thank all of you guys for just tuning in. This is great, man. I definitely got to do this more. You know, I'm gonna see if there's another question. All right, if there are no more questions, again, later this week, digital products, getting into why you should start building digital products. What are digital products? We're going to look at the wide breadth of digital products that you can be making. Shout outs to Kyle Maloney for joining. That is the tech boss right there. I'm just trying to get big like him, you know. But looking at the wide variety of digital products, right? We're going to dive all into that. So I'm going to save that for the live stream this week. I cannot wait. Again, it's going to be Tuesday or Thursday. Haven't decided this yet, but it will be around the same time, around 8 o'clock or 8:30. When I make the final decision, I'm going to be putting all of that out there for you guys. So again, if you're on the email list, you'll get it. If you're on the notification list, you'll get it. If you are on my social media, if you're following my website, you're gonna see all the information. All right. I want to thank all of you for joining tonight. I want you guys to be safe. Wash your hands. Try to exercise and drink a lot of water. I know the quarantining is driving people insane. They just closed down Mac Creek. I can't go run Bamboo Cathedral anymore. So, you know, well, we'll get through it, right? We'll get through it. We'll do more lives. We'll build our online businesses. We'll be able to make money online. And everybody's going to be happy, all right? So, again, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next live stream. I hope you guys have fun. I hope this was informational. If there was a question you guys have afterwards, feel free to DM me the question and I will answer those guys. I'll answer those questions one-on-one, all right? I'll be around online for the next little bit, so I'll be answering those questions right away, all right? Anyways, take care. IG, Facebook, later.